Every month, the moon reaches its fullest light, bringing us the ever-magical full moon. The Old Farmer's Almanac gives each full moon a name, rooted in the agricultural rhythms of the seasons. The zodiac illuminates the astrological influences of the full moon. Pagans and Wiccans honor these nights as esbats, sacred times for ritual, magic, and connection to the divine. Native Americans gave their own names and meanings, often tied to the land, the animals, and cycles of survival. And the full moon sometimes guides holy days and sacred festivals across multiple religions. The full moon is a natural amplifier, a moment to set intentions, focus on manifestation, and engage in ritual. Many believe its energy stirs emotions, sharpens intuition, and energizes magical work. So whether you're charging crystals, casting spells, or just admiring the night sky, the full moon is a time worth noting. I'm Witch Hazel the Mystic. Let's see what each full moon has to tell us, from the howls of January's wolf moon to the cold wisdom of December's long cold nights. We begin with the wolf moon of January. The Old Farmer's Almanac tells us this name came from the haunting howls heard in midwinter when food was scarce and wolves gathered close. Astrologically, this moon falls in Cancer, opposite the Capricorn sun. It pulls at our emotions, our need for home, and the bonds of family. For Wiccans and pagans, this esbat is a night of protection magic and survival rituals, invoking wolf energy for loyalty, courage, and kinship. Some Native American tribes, like the Assiniboine, called this the center moon, seeing it as the very heart of winter. And in Christian faiths, January's full moon often sets the stage, since Easter is calculated from the first Sunday after the first full moon following the spring equinox. Spiritually, this is a time to nurture ourselves, protect our pack, and howl into the darkness with resilience. Next comes February's snow moon, named for the heavy snows of midwinter. Astrologically, it often falls in Leo, spotlighting creativity, joy, and resilience, even in barren times. In Wiccan practice, this is a moon for purification, banishing the old and lighting candles of hope against the cold. The Cherokee sometimes called this the bone moon, when marrow and stored food were all that sustained the people. Christian tradition ties February to Candlemas, also known as the Feast of the Presentation, falling on February 2nd. It echoes older pagan Imbolc celebrations, marking light's return in the darkness. This snow moon teaches endurance, cleansing, and the quiet power of survival. As the ground begins to thaw, March brings the worm moon. Worms return to the soil, and with them, life begins again. Astrologically, this moon shines in Virgo, urging purification, healing, and preparation for spring's rebirth. Wiccan rituals here often involve fertility magic, blessing seeds, and honoring the Earth Mother. Among the Cree Indians, this was the crow moon, marking the return of cawing crows as a sign of seasonal change. This full moon often aligns with Lent in Christian faiths, a season of purification before Easter. The worm moon represents cleansing, grounding, and a reminder that even the smallest creatures stir great renewal. April's pink moon isn't named for its color, but for the pink phlox flowers blooming in spring. Astrologically, it falls in Libra, bringing themes of beauty, balance, and relationships. For Wiccans, this is a moon of love spells, hand-fasting blessings, and offerings of spring flowers to the goddess. The Dakota called it the moon when geese return in scattered formation, marking migration. The pink moon asks us to heal relationships, seek harmony, and find peace and beauty in balance. May blooms with the flower moon, celebrating spring in full blossom. Astrologically, it falls in Scorpio, carrying themes of transformation, passion, and rebirth. Wiccans connect this moon to Beltane, honoring fertility, love, and the goddess in her maiden form. The Cree called it the frog moon, listening to the songs of frogs as a sign of life force returning. Catholic Christians dedicate May to Mary, with the flower moon often aligning with Marian devotions. The flower moon is about blooming into your true self, embracing transformation, and honoring life in full flourish. June brings sweetness with the strawberry moon, named for the short berry harvest. Astrologically, it often falls in Sagittarius, sparking adventure, wisdom, and expansion. Wiccan and pagan rituals focus on abundance, gratitude, and prosperity. Strawberries themselves may be offered on altars. The Haudenosaunee, or Iroquois, also called it the strawberry moon, marking a community harvest. The strawberry moon reminds us to savor life's sweetness and expand into new horizons. In July, we meet the buck moon, named for deer growing their new antlers. Astrologically, this moon falls in Capricorn, teaching us responsibility, structure, and growth. Wiccans honor the horned god at this time, performing rituals of strength and resilience. The Ojibwe called it the raspberry moon, tied to the ripening berries. The buck moon invites us to grow strong antlers of our own, symbols of wisdom, endurance, and renewal. August glows with the sturgeon moon, when great fish filled the rivers and lakes. Astrologically, it often falls in Aquarius, highlighting community, innovation, and vision. Wiccans use this esbot for wisdom, divination, and group rituals, drawing on water's flow and depth. The Assiniboine called it the black cherries moon, linked to the ripening fruit. The sturgeon moon is about collective wisdom, sharing knowledge, and honoring abundance. September brings the corn moon, tied to the harvest of staple crops. If it's closest to the fall equinox, it becomes the harvest moon. Astrologically, it often falls in Pisces, stirring intuition, compassion, and dream work. The Lakota called it the moon when plums are scarlet, marking ripening fruit. The corn moon calls us to gratitude, to trust in cycles, and to honor the harvest of our labors. October shines with the hunter's moon, guiding hunters in autumn's darkening nights. Astrologically, it falls in Aries, fiery, bold, and instinctual. Pagans and Wiccans link this moon with Samhain, honoring ancestors and practicing divination as the veil grows thin. The Cree called it the migrating moon, marking animal migrations. Christian traditions tie October moons to All Saints and All Souls observances. The hunter's moon is a moon of endings, courage, and stepping boldly into the dark half of the year. In November comes the Beaver moon, named for the time beavers built their dams before winter. Astrologically, it falls in Taurus, grounding us in comfort, stability, and gratitude. Wiccans bless their homes, light hearth fires, and practice prosperity magic. The Algonquin also use this name, tied to survival and preparation. The Beaver moon teaches us to build, prepare, and settle in for the winter ahead. And finally, December's cold moon, named for the deep chill of winter. Astrologically, it falls in Gemini, drawing out reflection, communication, and curiosity. The Mohican called it the long night moon, marking the year's longest nights. In Christianity, this moon often lights the path to Christmas, symbolizing hope in the darkest time of year. The cold moon of December is about reflection, storytelling, and finding light in the longest night. And so, we have walked through the lunar year together, from the howling wolf moon of January to the frosty wisdom of December's cold moon. Each full moon has its story: agricultural names from the almanac, astrological lessons from the stars, rituals from Wiccan and pagan practice, seasonal wisdom from Native American tribes. The moon is universal. Its glow touches every tradition, every culture, and every soul. However you honor the full moon, through magic, prayer, or reflection, the moon is always there, luminous and patient, reflecting not just the light of the sun, but the light that is alive inside of you. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to do all the things for me so you don't miss a single mystical deep dive with me. I'm Hazel the Mystic. Thank you for watching, and until next time, may the stars light your path and the moon guide your spirit.